Uplift Code Camp is a Philippine coding bootcamp teaching full-stack web application development and short weekend seminars. Ruffa Carreon is a co-founder at Uplift Code Camp. JC Azcarraga is a teaching professional at Uplift Code Camp. So hello, Ruffa and JC. I'm very happy to have this conversation with you.
Hello.
Marso. Thank you
Hello.
for inviting
Hi, Johnny.
Yeah, so hopefully we can learn more about dev, about web apps, and yung teaching process nito. So let's start with the question, ano nga ba ang Uplift Code Camp?
So Uplift Code Camp, yung mission namin is to help more individuals learn tech skills so they can land better jobs or create apps na they're passionate about. Tactically, we do that as a coding bootcamp. At the moment, we're focused on full-stack web development. Other than that, we also have weekend courses and also company trainings.
Yeah, since you mentioned yung full stack developers, kasi ako din like nung medyo beginner pa ako sa development world, sa programming world, lagi ko nakikita pero I don't know what it means. So ano nga ba ang full stack? I mean, I know na marami rin gusto magtanong yan. So let's put it out there. Ano nga ba ang full stack? Ano ang ibig sabihin ng full stack?
So full stack sa amin is a combination of two things. So you have the front end and the back end applications. So if you combine those two, you have a full stack. So ano nga ba yung front end? So these are web applications that the user interact with. So websites, you have the forms that they fill out. So these are the front end applications. So now, if you want to add data source, so databases where you put the data, so dun mo gagawin yung back end. And then you put this all together, you have a sort of a connection in the middle, what we call API. So the three work hand in hand to be the full stack application. So this is what we teach our students from the basics of the front end, how they could create this mobile responsive websites, and then how they could create these data sources. And then at the end, pagsasamahin namin siya. And then we deploy those full stack applications.
Okay, just a follow-up question lang. So merong front tsaka back. So possible
Yes.
ba na isang developer ay like front lang or back lang? And ano yung value talaga if you know the whole full stack?
So yes, we have what we call specializations. May mga developers na nag-specialize talaga sa front end lang. And then may mga developers that go the other way, so mga back-end. And then there are these developers who would like to actually know the entire process. So talagang sila yung tinatawag na full stack developers, so front-end and back-end. Ang pagkakaano dito is, so the front-end, they are more focused on designing the front-end part. And then meron namang specifications how they could connect to the back end. So, it doesn't mean na front end ka, you don't know back end. It just means that you focused on the front end. So, same with the back end. So, ganon siya.
Okay, I hope it becomes clearer now for me and for our listeners. Pero punta tayo sa question na, bakit nga ba importante ang web app development or coding mismo? So, yeah, what's the value really of this skill, this skill?
Mm-hmm. So coding in general, nagiging basic or fundamental skill na siya, parang math in English. Kasi madaming bagay ngayon ay tech ang nagdadrive. So kung mapansin natin, paano tayo mag-communicate with each other? Through Zoom or other meeting apps. So tech-driven, online, or how we meet people, how we connect with people, how we order food, how we find our ways or direction. A lot of the things na we do sort of very dependent na sa tech. And all of these things are driven by code at the very heart of them. And so as we move forward, there will be more things that we need to build through code. There are a lot of things already existing that we need to maintain. And so it's a future of work, and it's valuable, not just coding, but I guess yung basis ng coding is problem solving in general then. it's really important for people to nurture these skills.
And yung logic structures, no? Like, I mean, coding is basically logic, eh. Is that right?
Yes, it is. Other than that, it's also understanding the problem, the root cause of the problem, and ideating solutions. Because some things aren't solvable just by logic alone. Sometimes it's how the user interface is designed. That's the problem.
Yeah. And I like that take, yung coding, yung skill ng coding, it's like the backbone somehow, or yung parang pinaka-material ng mga nakikita natin ngayon sa ating paligid. Hindi lang Zoom, hindi lang social media, miski yung mga electronics, yung mga products, smartphones, napakalaking tulong or napakalaking kaalaman if you know how to code kasi you can contribute to building the future nga. I mean, yung technology na nag-shape ng mundo. So, Uplift Code Camp is teaching how to code, teaching future developers, future professionals. So, let's go sa kung paano nga ba nagtuturo ng coding ang Uplift Code Camp. So, can you share more about the programs and the courses available and maybe describe like yung bootcamp nga and yung weekend seminars? So, can we know more about them?
Yeah, so we have two types of courses. So we have the part-time and the full-time. So nagkakaiba lang siya on the length of the bootcamp. So for now, ngayon, this year we are only focused on the part-time, and but later on we are always open for the full-time courses. So yung part-time namin is 6 months. And we tailored our curriculum so that it's beginner-friendly. So kadalasan natatakot yung mga tao to apply with us because they hear the word coding, they hear the word na problem solving. So so what we say to them is that we tailor our curriculum in such a way that kahit wala kang alam, kahit galing ka sa ibang industry, we could guide you step by step. So that you could learn from zero to what we envision you to be after 6 months. So in the 6 months training, we focus on the fundamental skills and the practical applications. So mas kami, hinati namin siya. We do not focus morely on theory, but we value yung practical applications because ito yung nag-hone sa skills ng mga students by doing things, dun sila nasasanay, they could continually improve, they could make some mistakes, but eventually, at the end of the day, dun sila matututo. We have projects that they need to build throughout the course, and those projects are also tailored in such a way that they could apply all the things na natutunan nila sa klase. We have individual projects, mainly because we want them to actually learn the skill to do that, and then we translate or in-upgrade namin sila into working by teams because in the tech industry hindi naman talaga mag-isa ka lang, so you are working with a team. So within the bootcamp, we let them experience how it's like to work with a team, to have a team leader o ganyan, how to do stand-ups and so on. And on top of everything, yun nga sinabi ni Ruffa kanina, we have yung non-technical sessions, which is time management. May mga interview workshop, how they could ace their HR interview, their tech mock interview, and then we teach them how to also do their CVs and how to improve their communication. So may mga recitations because we want them to parang ma-articulate yung mga lessons. That way, parang second nature na sa kanila yung pag-solve ng problem, kaya pang ipag-usap with other individuals. And other than that, we invite other individuals as well, yung mga what we call weekend courses. This can be iba-ibang individuals that are in the industry that we think might have an impact that yung mga sinishare nila is valuable to the students. And syempre, so baka isipin nila na lahat siya puro tech, puro ganun. So we offer also consultations. So yung aming to get the teacher and the teaching assistant do consultations sa mga students if ever may mga tanong sila, kasi on a daily basis, we have 2 hours of lecture. So, imagine, hindi mo talaga siya mako-cover in the 2 hours. So, we give them the luxury of booking consultations with us. In that way, mas ma-address namin if a student is lagging behind or there are other questions na hindi namin na-cover sa klase. So, parang the curriculum is, para sa amin, it's continually improving because we learn batch per batch. So we're still young and we know that we can still improve. But for now, these are our courses for Uplift.
And I like the name na boot camp siya kasi parang may fun factor and may personal interaction factor as seen nga rin sa pag-design ninyo ng curriculum. But I'm just curious, paano nyo exactly na de-design yung curriculum? Kasi like, napakadaming programming languages. In the hard skills part, napakadaming programming languages. So, first question is, how do you choose which to teach? And then sa soft skills, like, paano nyo nalalaman kung ano yung mga soft skills na talagang kailangan? So, yeah, can we know more about that process of how the curriculum evolves nga?
So, nung very beginning, yung curriculum, the 3 founders, all of us are engineers, software engineers, engineering leads, and managers. And so the curriculum, and then 2 of my partners are based in the US. And so the original curriculum, we based it on our experiences and also on the US curriculum, the boot camps in the US. And through every batch and every new teammate that comes into the Uplift family, we adjust it, we improve it. We get feedback from the students in program. We get feedback from our graduates and also from the companies who hire our graduates. So as an example, when we started, we focused on all projects are individually created. And then a feedback that we had was nahihirapan yung students namin pag nasa team setting na, ng culture shock sila, paano mag-work with other engineers, paano mag-share ng code, paano basahin yung ibang code. So, in-integrate namin yun sa bootcamp. And then, because we're all in the industry, nakikita namin kung ano yung ginagamit talaga. So, we started, for example, sa specific, sa React. Sorry sa mga viewers na hindi pa technical. But may isang may isang portion na we started teaching yung class-based components, and then we realized now, hey, a lot of people are shifting to a different way, a different approach, and so we adjusted the curriculum on that. So we value experimenting. So when we see a problem or a friction with the students, we try to really analyze what's happening and how we can help them better. And through some experimentation, let's try this, then learn from it, and if it works, then let's continue doing that. So as an example, we've integrated hackathons into the programs because we wanted them to experience yung pressure and yung fun and creativity ng hackathons.
Yeah, it's interesting yung sinabi mo na experimentation and feedback. I agree na yun nga yung nagda-drive sa mga new companies, sa mga startups, kasi that's how you really know ano ba yung hanap ng inyong customers, yung mga students, and also yung hanap ng maybe industry partners sa inyong mga graduates. So ang tanong ko is, sino nga ba ang pwedeng mag-apply or as student sa Uplift Code Camp? I mean, is this open to anyone? I mean, ano ba yung background na dapat meron? Parang ano yung prerequisite knowledge?
Actually, so we cater almost anyone. It doesn't matter kung saan kang background galing. It doesn't matter of do you have previous knowledge about it. So anyone can join from zero knowledge to experienced developers. We also have no age requirement. We have, I think, from the previous batch, we have as young as 18 years old. So, I think programming developers do not have that boundary, so that you can box them in. So, just anyone who is interested and is willing to put in the work can actually join our bootcamp. Yeah.
So may mga retired OFWs din kami, mga 50s. May mga from marketing, sales, HR, seaman. So
Yeah.
from all walks of life talaga. As long as passionate sila, may grit, and committed sila, gusto nilang matuto, we help them.
Yeah, and I think tama lang naman kasi nga in the future maybe like coding is the language of the world kasi technology driven na tayo. And speaking of the teachers naman, so sino nga ba yung mga teachers na nagturo dito sa bootcamps niyo and sa seminars?
So one of our teachers is JC.
Our teaching professional at Uplift.
Yeah, so I think I am the second full-time teacher here in Uplift. We have the previous one, which is Sir PJ, and we have Sir Jag also currently teaching the January batch. And yung mga teachers are also from the network. If si Ruffa is actually a teammate of mine sa isang frisbee team. So that's yung sports namin dati when wala pang COVID. And alam namin, I mean, we know that we are both in the software industry, pero ayun, parang I think nag-ano lang talaga siya, parang it came across na willing ako magturo and we have the same background, we agree to the same vision, and that's, I think that the rest is history, and now we have this one.
Super challenging maghanap ng software engineers na may gift of teaching.
Yeah.
Like, konti na lang yung engineers. And iba pang gift and talent yung pagtuturo.
Yeah, yun nga iniisip ko kasi yung communication. At saka, in Filipino language ba kayo magturo? I mean, English, Taglish, paano nga ba yung language of teaching sa camps?
In general, we do Taglish because we have students na from abroad. So, Taglish, we do Taglish.
Yeah, and kasi gusto nyo nga talaga mag-include ng as much audience, as much learners as possible. So, speaking of those learners, so, meron na ba kayong alam na students ninyo na graduated from Uplift Code Camp na nagkaroon ng achievements or maybe naka-land ng magandang trabaho or something, or maybe naka-develop ng magandang app or something. So, meron ba tayong ganong stories?
Yes, so 82% of our job-looking graduates do land jobs 1 month after graduation. So each has their different stories, and gladly they are with teams that are very supportive of their ongoing career development as well. So we have graduates in Dadus, as an example, 10 Brothers, Cinder. So we have graduates in both startups and also much bigger enterprises.
Okay. So now, punta naman tayo sa maybe background story ng Uplift Code Camp. So I want to ask Ruffa also as one of the co-founders. So bakit nyo nga ba sinart ang Uplift Code Camp? I mean, bakit nyo sinart yung startup or company na nagtuturo ng coding and web app development? I mean, why teach this specific skill? So maybe, can you share some stories and yung motivations? Ano ba yung nasa isip nyo nung sinimulan nyo to?
Mm-hmm. So, ni-start namin siya kasi gusto talaga namin maka-help and matulungan yung mas madaming tao na matuto mag-coding kasi tingin namin very important talaga to. So, as a story, nung nag-start kami 2 years ago, I've always had the challenge of hiring software engineers dito sa Pinas sa mga previous companies ko. And nakakalungkot yun kasi naniniwala ako sa talento ng Pinoy. Alam naman natin kung gaano ka-hardworking, passionate, committed ang Pinoy. Pero yung skills kasi aren't there yet. And maraming factors doon, alam naman natin. Opportunities, hindi ganun ka-open sa madaming tao. So yun yung motivation, and then napagtantuhan namin na okay, ito isang space na pwede nating tulungan i-solve by teaching and sharing tech skills sa ibang tao. At the moment, focus kami sa programming and sa web development, but also in the future, para mapunan yung iba't ibang intentions and aspirations ng mga tao sa ibang tech stacks or even UX design, nasa plan din namin yun. think JC also has a very good story on why he joined Uplift.
I would love to hear that.
Yeah, I think I think nung shinare sa akin ni Ruffa yung vision ng Uplift, parang it took me back to when I was learning programming. So nung time na yon, I'm a graduate of library science kasi sa UP, and I think there were only one or two subjects in the curriculum yung tinuruan talaga paano yung web development. And a lot of the subjects is more focused on how to handle data. So, but then those the subjects that I really enjoy. So after I graduated, yun talaga yung, I think yun yung gusto ko maging trabaho. But after I graduated, that time walang institution, or as far as I know, yung nag-offer. So, ang resort ko was to study on my own. So, even though I was trusted by my employer yung first time kong na-employ to do the job, sobrang sobrang hilaw pa yung understanding ko about web development. So, for the 3.5 years I worked at UP, talagang nag-aral din ako. I studied advanced HTML, CSS, JavaScript. In-add ko na lang din yung databases and PHP sa skill level ko. Pero after 3.5 years, I just feel na imagine mo, it took me 3.5 years to actually grasp. Hindi pa yon pang entry level for, let's say, a big company. So when Ruffa pitched me the vision and mission of Uplift, parang I don't want individuals who want to actually switch to tech. Yung pagdaanan pa, yung pinagdaanan pa rin. So as much as I can help them shorten the time it will take them to be ready for a job, then tulungan ko na lang sila. And I think so yung experiences ko for the past 7-8 years in the industry, I think would be worth sharing because yun nga sabi ni Ruffa, we firmly believe that Filipinos have that innate talent. Kailangan lang talaga ng merong institution that will help them, that will push them, and that will realize that merong ganong talent sa mga Filipino. So yun, I think that's the whole story. And from siguro 1 year na ako sa Uplift, hindi ko pinagsisihan yung decision na yun. Parang it is a challenge to actually teach, pero parang it's really worth it to see your students learning, to see your students growing, and yung magpapasalamat sila sa'yo because they achieve yung goal nila kahit nag-start sila as somewhat na wala silang tiwala sa sarili nila, kakaiba. So ngayon, talagang it makes us want to improve more, want to teach more, and want to reach as many individuals as possible. So yun.
Okay, I like that. Parang it's not just teaching coding; it's building the community, and it's sharing the opportunity, and it's sharing the love for learning. I really like that approach. Pero I'm curious kung ano ba yung mission and vision na sinabi ni Ruffa kay JC kaya ka naengganyo nga to teach.
Yun. So it's really helping more individuals learn tech skills so they can land better jobs, build the apps they want, overall like uplift yung innovation sa country natin. So yun yung ultimate mission and vision ni Uplift, build that tech community and also give back sa existing communities na rin.
Yep.
And can we know nga, so paano nga ba nag-evolve si Uplift Code Camp from its beginning to now? And maybe ano ba yung future plans nyo into the future? So can we know more about that?
So ayun, 2 years old kami, bilis ang panahon. Nag-start kami, may physical class kami sa may harap ng Trinoma and full-time yung classes. And then nangyari yung pandemya. So na-force kami maging online and na-force kami mag-adjust to part-time. Lots of learning, lots of things that we tried. And definitely a really good journey. At the moment, And so, as I mentioned earlier, we love experimenting, learning things, and we love feedback. So, we're ever improving the program, the curriculum, and how we deliver. We're ever improving as well how we can provide more things for the community. In the future, we still have plans to have physical classes, mainly outside Metro Manila, in the provincial cities, because there's a lot of untapped talent there, and we want to help support them and provide that opportunity.
Yeah, I like that future plan. Pero, so, you paano siya mangyayari? Like, you plan to get like teachers in those different regions or you deploy your own teachers? I mean, just share some idea lang kung paano siya mangyayari.
Both. So at the moment, gladly, because like we really foster a diverse team. So we do have like teachers na from Bicol, JC, and we have another one, Roel. He's from the academy in Bicol, actually. So we are always on the lookout for people who share the same passion as ours, and we can do both. Like bring our teachers who'd love to like have a life outside Metro Manila or find talent there. We also have plans of partnering with the academy because they already have the footprint. They already have the students, and I think the best way to really solve the skill gap is to help the academy improve how they teach and the curriculum.
Yeah, and more more on the ground, more touched sa communities. So, if ever ba, may offline, pero may online pa rin. Tama ba? Yeah, na teaching na classes.
When you say offline, parang physical classes.
Physical.
Yeah, oo. So, pag pinermit na ng universe, yes. We'll also have yung mga physical classes.
Okay, so punta na tayo sa philosophical ender part ng Startup Podcast. So I just want to know really, like, yung parang pinaka-vision and yung pinaka-future na nakikita nyo for the Philippines. And I want to ask that with a question na, do you think most or maybe all ba in the future na Pilipino at na tao, I mean, in the future ba, lahat ba dapat ng tao or maybe lahat ba dapat ng Pilipino ay marunong mag-code? What do you think about that question?
So I think for this one, it's not a matter of coding per se, because tech from Ruffa said at the bottom line it's about code, but let's say people na hindi parang walang time. So what we want to what we want here for Filipinos to encapsulate is yung problem solving approach and mindset. Because if you have that mindset and then you know how to break down problems, you know how to approach them, then regardless of coding yung maging avenue mo, then you could solve pretty much kung ano man yung magiging problems natin in the future. So more like we teach coding, pero yun nga, it's we don't like to just box. So we want them to actually learn the bigger skill, which is problem solving. It doesn't matter if they apply it into coding, UX design, UI design, but all of these is pertaining to us solving problems in the future.
Yeah, I like that. Kasi inisip ko, baka lang, if ever, like in the future, baka mapalitan na ng coding, yung like basic math or basic whatever subject. Na I'm just putting it out there. But I like that approach na you build holistically and you make the learners not just learn coding and yung mga pinaka-latest na programming languages, but yung pagiging problem solvers. I really think that's important, not just for ourselves, but in building the Philippines and the society in the future. Yeah, so I think this is a very good conversation. Yeah, I really love it. I really love your vision also. So nakakaengganyo nga yung pag-share ni Ruffa. So maybe if our listeners want to know more or maybe they want to enroll sa bootcamps or sa seminars ni Uplift Code Camp or maybe they just want to connect with you or partner or teach maybe. So how can they do so? How can they find you? How can they get more information about Uplift Code Camp?
Cool, thank you. So we have a website, upliftcodecamp.com. It has like the programs and also stories of our students if you wanted to learn more. We also have Facebook, Uplift Code Camp, search nyo lang. We're also in Instagram. So send us an email, contact at upliftcodecamp.com. So we wanted to reach more individuals, have more students that we can impart the knowledge. Also, we wanted to also partner with more organizations, more communities that we can collaborate, companies that need help in uplifting their teams as well. We'd love to partner as well with universities and schools. So very, very open for collaboration. So send us a message and we'd love to keep touch with you guys.
Yep, and also we have what we call open houses during Wednesdays. So this is where we discuss the details of the enrollment, the payment, the curriculum, and then actually we have teachers that are present on these sessions. That way, if merong technical questions yung mga students, then we could answer. Sometimes, minsan kasi the very question that is troubling a lot of students is, sir, mahirap ba yan? Kaya ko ba yan? So, as I always say, yes, because yun nga, sabi namin, we tailor our curriculum on whatever level you are. We will always be there to help you and is looking forward to you being on that graduation day. So, lagi kong sinasabi, I always assure them that it's always a two-way process. We help them and then they help themselves. So, they just have to take that first step and then we will guide them hanggang sa matapos nila yung bootcamp. Yeah.
Marami rin pala kami free events. So, follow nyo kami sa Facebook. So,
yeah.
Kasi may mga fireside chats kami with engineers. So, para kung curious ka, paano ba talaga maging engineer or like maging tech person, so pwede silang like join sa mga free events na.
Yeah.
Free workshops din. So, follow nyo kami sa Facebook.
So, follow Uplift Code Camp on Facebook. Yeah, it's the Uplift Code Camp is a really very exciting new tech upskilling startup company. Yeah, so I'm really thankful to have this conversation with you, Ruffa, and you, JC. So thank you so much for spending some time with us dito sa Startup Podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to our 4 patrons. This episode is powered by ePlayment. Support us in Patreon at www.patreon.com/startuppodcastph.